One of the most ironic features of ADHD-caused rejection sensitivity dysphoria is our hypocrisy with it. No, this is not a video blaming people with ADHD for their rejection sensitivity dysphoria, but rather it's this. With ADHD, we have a limited amount of attention. And because of the capitalistic nature of the societies in which we work, when we go to work for fear of losing our jobs, we tend to be the best version of our emotionally stable self. It's at work, we're both hyper-vigilant for signs that other people don't like us because it causes us so much pain and because we're trying to monitor to make sure things are safe so we can manage impressions, so people think highly of us despite our disorganization and mistakes. And so many of us develop a work self-concept that we think is true and consistent across multiple domains of our lives. But when we get off work, is that work self, that very regulated self, shuts off because they're exhausted. So they get home, and as opposed to being that moderated, reasonable self, we are our exhausted, reactive selves. So our partner asks us a question about what's for dinner, and we say, God, I just got off work. Why are you asking me to make a decision? You never make decisions. Whoa! Our partner just came to us and asked us what we wanted for dinner, likely because it's an important discussion, and they want our needs and wants to be heard. But our reaction is that evening decision fatigue, where we come off as frustrated, loud, and angry. And so what do they do in response? They go, I was just asking you what you wanted to eat. I get that you're tired. I'm tired too. You don't have to be so rude about it. And all of a sudden, we've gone from being tired and not really paying attention to how we're showing up to now hyper-focused on how they're showing up. Oh my gosh, they're angry at me. Oh my gosh, here I was doing my best, just tired, and I show up as my authentic raw self, and they can't handle it. They don't like me. They hate me. This is unfair. And off we go onto the rejection sensitivity dysphoria train. And what's worse about this pattern, we tend to be exhausted in the evenings when we're most likely to be with our friends and family. And so they consistently get this exhaustive, hyper-reactive, hyper-vigilant version of us that because we're tired, we're not really paying attention to or monitoring. And so we're missing essentially half of ourselves. We base our self-concept on the part we can pay attention to, which is our professional self. But our personal self is this seemingly completely different person. This is what shows up in couples, where one or both partners have ADHD and suffer some version of rejection sensitivity dysphoria. We notice when other people are harsh or short or rude with us, but we don't notice when we're that way to our partners and loved ones. And so as opposed to us being able to realize we're exhausted and being emotionally reactive and bitey and all the things that would make someone else's RSD trigger, all we hear is that somehow we're wrong, we're bad. And so we become the hypocrites. The trick to stopping this cycle is one, recognizing that it happens. And second, once we know this pattern happens, to allow our partners and loved ones to call us out. And to not double down that somehow we're feckless and they're being unreasonable, but that because in our exhaustion and our lack of attention, we may well have started this negative interaction and escalated it. What's been your experience with rejection sensitivity dysphoria? I'd love to hear from you.